Mic test. Mic test. Test test. Test test.
Different. Harland ISD mic test 1 2 3. Harland ISD mic test 1 2 3 4. Harland ISD mic test 1 2 3 4 and 5. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to those that are here present and those that are joining us remotely. Today is September 10th, 2025, and we're here for a work session of the Board of the Harlandale ISD Trustees. The meeting is being called to order at 6:15. We're going to take roll call of the board members present. We can close the voting. Thank you very much. We do have a quorum. Ms. Erica Salazar will be joining us shortly. Mr. Soto, can you please let us know who's here in attendance this evening?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, HISD Community. This evening, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Business and Finance, Mr. David Flores.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Operations, Dr. Hinojosa.
Here.
And filling in for Ms. Casey is Mr. Michael Littlefield.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Salinas.
Here.
And we have our Director of Public Information, Ms. Garza.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Moving on with the agenda. Agenda item 2, public comment. We do have several community members that have signed up. First community member is Ms. Maricruz Martinez. Ms. Martinez? Welcome, Ms. Martinez. Just to keep me consistent, you do have 3-minute maximum to speak. The topics addressed shall be related to those specifically included on tonight's board agenda. And there will be a timer there to keep track of your minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Maricruz Martinez, president of TSTHA Local and a 15-year veteran teacher that feels like I am in my first year of teaching and I am end of school year tired. Those that know. This year, too many new things are being thrown at us. I come before you tonight as a passionate advocate for our district, our people, and the quality education that our students deserve, not only for our students, but for the professionals who dedicate their lives to teaching them. Yes, we know these changes and new curriculum is coming from the state, but I need to address the growing concerns we share. Instead of engaging students in critical thinking, creativity, and depth of knowledge, we are seeing a curriculum that is rigid, surface level, and lacking the cultural and intellectual diversity our students deserve. This is not a matter of preference. It is about preparing our students for the future. When curriculum is overly prescriptive and driven by a one-size-fits-all approach, it disengages learners, stifles curiosity, and undermines the purpose of true public education. But what is equally alarming is the deteriorating state of our teaching profession. Teachers are being driven out of classrooms at an unprecedented rate because the demands placed upon us are becoming unsustainable. Our teachers are simply overworked. Everyone forgets with anything new comes a lot more work. Internalizing, making the units your own, that takes a great amount of extra hours. Worksheet after worksheet. Who do you think grades all of that? That's not even the half of it. Even worse is having classrooms that are overcrowded. I am a second grade teacher with 28 second graders. My colleague has 29. This is simply overwhelming from the start of the school year. We just hired a new second grade teacher. Thankfully, the change will happen on Monday for us, but not for others around the district. We have been given sub-assistance from the beginning of the school year. A week ago, we were told all help was not going to continue because the district did not approve of it. Of course, that did not sit well with me. Thank you to our principal and district leaders who helped facilitate keeping our sub-assistants. But not all other teachers dealing with a large class were that lucky. Those that were told they would be losing the help did lose it, and that is just not fair. District leaders, if these types of trends continue, we will lose not just good teachers, but great ones. And when great teachers leave, our students suffer. I am currently working with a heavy heart because a dear colleague has chosen to leave, a 16-year great teacher, TIA recipient, and my friend. She is not the only one, and she is leaving now. It is not fair to have teachers try to teach with so many students in one class, plus having to deal with everything that comes with it. It's time to take meaningful action to restore respect, balance, and support to those doing the most important job of all, our teachers. Thank you
Ms.
for your time and
Martinez.
consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Susan Salinas is another community member that has signed up for public comment. Good evening, Ms. Salinas. Just as a friendly reminder, you have 3-minute maximum to speak. The topics addressed shall be limited to those specifically included on tonight's board agenda. You may begin whenever you're ready, and you do have a timer to keep you on track.
Thank you. Good evening, President Cavazos, members of the board, Superintendent Soto, and the community. I am Susan Salinas, TSA staff, speaking tonight on item agenda 6. Today, TSA acknowledges the challenging budgetary times faced by school districts due to the significant education funding cuts imposed by the governor and the legislation. But even now, raising class sizes in the primary grades is bad policy. The 22-to-1 limit in K through 4 has been a vital state educational standard since 1984 because it works. Seeking waivers to crowd more children into classrooms may save the district some money now, but we soon will be paying more and reduce educational quality and higher social costs. Larger K through 4 classes would force many elementary teachers to spend more time babysitting students rather than teaching them. Students at this age require a significant amount of individual attention, and adding more kids to a classroom reduces the time a teacher can spend with each child. Children, particularly disadvantaged children, won't get the early individual attention they need. They will be at a greater risk of dropping out when they get older. Those who do stay in school may not get the strong early educational foundation they need to succeed in later grades. Teachers will do their best with every child, but larger classes run the risk of spreading teachers too thin. As I'm sure board members know, the 22-to-1 class size cap in K through 4 is very popular with parents who recognize its importance in giving their children a strong educational environment. Several public opinion polls in recent years have shown that Texans overwhelmingly support the 22-to-1 limit. Some people who doubt the importance of 22-to-1 often claim that 22 is not a magic number. But several academic studies in recent years have shown that smaller class sizes have better educational results on test scores and other indicators, including eventual college enrollment. Yes, it would be great if we could limit our K-3 classes to, say, 15 students, but it's not possible in the current budgetary climate. We do, however, have the 22-to-1 limit. Why bypass it and weaken the standards that we have? Why treat our educational opportunity for our kids? We encourage the school board to vote no on asking for a waiver and vote yes to hiring more teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas. Our next community member is Terry Capistran. Ms. Capistran? Hello, ma'am. Just to stay consistent, you have a 3-minute maximum to speak. There's a timer on the screen to keep track of that. And topics addressed tonight shall be limited to only those specifically on tonight's board agenda. You may begin whenever you're ready. Ms. Capistran, I'm going to interrupt you. Do you mind turning on your mic? That way we can all hear you.
Okay, better? Thank you so much. That didn't take away my time, right? Okay, just kidding. Good evening again. Good evening, Board President Cavazos, members of the board, Superintendent Soto. My name is Terry Capistran. I am an educator, 37 years, and superintendent at Point Isabel ISD. Tonight, I speak on behalf of our beloved Sylvia Cardenas. Sylvia was my cousin, but considered her a sister, as I do her siblings, Yolanda and David. I was born in San Antonio, and much of my childhood was spent in the Martinez home in the Harlandale School District. I'm here tonight to say thank you. Thank you to the school board and superintendent for hearing the community and for agenda item number 13 that is going to be considered tonight, and that is naming the Harlandale Gym the Sylvia Cardenas Gymnasium. As Sylvia's family endured the loss of our beloved Sylvia, we saw the incredible outpour of support from the community, but more importantly, the immense gratitude for Sylvia from her former athletes, from students, from community members, for everything that she did. Many of those things that we never even knew. We knew she was awesome. We just didn't realize how awesome she was. One common theme was the unbelievable impact Sylvia had on the lives of so many of the students and athletes and families in the Harlandale community and throughout San Antonio. As an educator, I have witnessed many, many amazing educators, but I can tell you there are very few like Sylvia Cardenas. Naming your gym after her will be a sign of pride, not just to the family, but to Harlandale ISD as well. To have someone as amazing as Sylvia, who exemplified all the wonderful qualities of a positive school model that we want for our students. So for our students, and I say our students, our Harlandale ISD Indian students that walk through that gym, to know that they have an amazing role model such as Sylvia to look up to and to emulate. Naming your gym will be a pride for our family and for Harlandale ISD. So on behalf of myself, Terry Capistran, my husband, Rene Capistran, and our company, Noble Texas Builders, we are honored to be able to provide the signage and the installation of the signage in the gym free of charge, and working directly with Dr. Hinojosa as far as the specs are concerned. So tonight we have some of our family, we have a large family, and they're holding up the signs. We can hold up the signs. We want to say thank you. Thank you to you, the school board, for considering and hearing the cry of the community and for taking your time today to consider and hopefully taking action on saying yes to this. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Capistran. Next community member that we have that signed up for public comment is Esther Garza, Robert Garza. And my apologies, I should have said Dr. Garza.
Y doctora Garza.
Doctora,
Yes.
doctora. Just to keep consistent, 3 minutes maximum to speak. You do have a timer on the screen, and our topics addressed shall be limited to those on tonight's agenda. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you. My name is Robert Garza, and many of you all know me as president of Palo Alto College, just right down the road. I do have to say that as part of our policy, I have to say that I'm speaking as a private citizen on my own accord. I'm here with my wife, Dr. Esther Garza, who's a professor in bilingual education at A&M San Antonio across the street. And then I'll also extend that she's also here on our own private accord. We met, we're here to talk about item number 13. We were able to meet and had the pleasure and privilege of meeting Sylvia Cardenas earlier, about a year ago. We met as strangers, we left as friends, and what I'm finding is we've closed that gap from friends to familia. And I think that that's really important to say, because that is something that she brought not only to us, but to the entire Southside community. And so, yes, Harlandale is a pillar in the community in the Southside, but if I went on and I started reading with her former athletes and different community members, and wow, just amazing. And I've been in higher education now for 30 years. And I'll tell you that Harlandale has some real pride here with Sylvia Cardenas. And you have an opportunity to not only celebrate her life and celebrate the familia, but also to celebrate the community and keeping that legacy of excellence alive. I think it's important that we recognize folks, particularly local heroes. And I'm just going to go out and say that Sylvia Cardenas was a local hero that influenced not hundreds, but thousands of lives. And so I thank you for the opportunity and the consideration that you have in naming the gymnasium the Sylvia Cardenas Gymnasium, because I know that that will be impactful for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I wanted to ask legal, if at all possible, could we move agenda item 13?
Yes, ma'am. You
Madam
could,
Chair,
Yes, Mr.
I'd like
Mancha.
to motion that we move item number 13.
I will second your motion.
Thank
Okay.
you.
yes, now you have a motion and a second to change the order of the day to hear item 13. You can. Yes.
Thank you. We don't need to do a vote.
You do need to do, now that you have a motion and a second,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and
Then, okay, not a problem. So those that are in favor to move agenda item 13 to the front before we begin agenda item 3, raise your hands, please. You got the count? Okay. Voting is closed. We have a motion that passed. Carries. We will be moving to a closed session. I'm just going to read.
no, we're moving
I'm
just to
sorry.
item
We're-
13.
Item
Yes, ma'am.
13, I said closed session. Yes, item 13. I'm so sorry. Individual item, yes. Do you all want to discuss, make discussion? Is there some comments? What do you
Madam
all want to
Chair?
do? Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the renaming of the gymnasium at Hardendale High School to Sylvia A. Cardenas, and I will open it up for discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Mancha. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Any discussion before we move to the vote? Ms. Reese, no? Oh,
Madam Chair?
yes, Mr. Mancha.
I just like to share with the community that's here and my colleagues. I've been coming to board meetings before I even got on the board for over 20, my daughter's 34, over 32 years. And I was always so impressed that the only coach that I ever saw at any board meeting to want to listen to what is happening with our kids was Miss Sylvia Cardenas. And she would always approach me and ask me, what are we going to talk about, Mr. Mancha? And I would tell her, I'm going to complain, ma'am. She goes, okay, Mr. Mancha, then I'll leave you alone. And if I was going to do something to promote the students, or we were bringing a different program that we would like to bring to the district, then she would say, okay, I got your back. She didn't want to have my back when there was going to be trouble, but but it impressed me because board members, we never see the coaches other than one of their kids are going to get an award or a presentation for something. That's when we see the coaches. And then as soon as they can, they leave. But she would literally stay there the whole meeting. And to me, that was dedication. I usually never wear the shirts that they give me from the district, but I wore this in honor of her because she was made in Hardendale.
Thank you, Mr. Mancha. Anybody else, or can we move forward with the vote?
I
Yes,
just want to
Mr.
quickly say, I'm glad we moved the motion to vote on this right now because out of respect for the community and for the support of Ms. Cardenas has been awesome. I didn't know her personally, but I'm for naming that because she's just such a role model and outstanding citizen here for Hardendale. And like Mr. Munch said, she's made in Hardendale. She is Hardendale, and give you Hardendale forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Can we open up the voting for agenda item 13 if no one else has any more comments? Okay, voting is now open. We can close the voting, please. Agenda item 13, motion carries. Congratulations to the community.
Madam Chair, can we take a 5-minute break?
Yes, sir, we can. Can you tell me the time, Patty, please? 6:34, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Okay, break is over. Patty, what time is it, please? 6:42. We will begin again on our agenda. Agenda item 3, the board focused on student outcomes. 8.5% of the time in the August special call, work session, and regular board meeting. Although that's not a number as high as we've had in the past, every growth is a success for us when it comes to student outcomes. So good job, team. Moving on to agenda item 4, the board will conduct a work session with the superintendent and staff. Agenda item 5, Student Empowerment Camp Summer 2025 presentation. Mr. Flores?
Yes, thank you. Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Soto, Superintendent of Schools. Tonight, we're going to present some information on the Empower Fest summer camp that was held this past summer. And we have with us Ms. Reina Gallegos and Ms. Nicole Davis. And they'll have 2 of our students that were part of the camp introduce themselves and give us some information of what they enjoyed as part of this camp. So if we can have Ms. Gallegos and Ms. Davis, please. And while that presentation is coming back up, just a real quick summary. The students that participated in the summer camp did have some college and academic exploration. They attended several universities across the state. They had some guest speakers present to the students as well, and just a little bit more empowerment that they were able to enjoy. So I think that's ready now.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Mr. Soto, Cabinet, and everyone else and our students. I'm Reina Gallegos. I'm the Director of Student Support Services and Special Programs for Harlandale ISD. Before I get started, it is with great pleasure that we introduce our students and Empower Fest 2025 that we held at Morrill, July 2025. It was a 2-week camp that was targeted specifically for all of our students that were secondary. So any rising 8th graders all the way to 12th grade. They enjoyed a lot of activities, entrepreneurships, CCMR alignments that we work closely with Norberto in the CCMR Academy, and also with our counselors and social workers, and also all of our pupil personnel staff. I'm going to go ahead and introduce and turn this over to Nicole Davis, our Parent and Family Community Coordinator.
Good evening. I'm not going to talk very long. You guys hit on everything, but these students up here, I've gotten the opportunity to work with them not only just one summer, but for 2 summers now this year. And this is supported by Title IV funds. So I'm really excited for you guys to get to hear what they have to say. So without further ado, I have Mr. Aaron Rodriguez and Miss Tiara Friarias, who is celebrating her birthday, who's chosen today to come up here and talk on behalf of the 75 students that we had this summer. So we'll get right into it.
Good evening. Our first question was, what was your favorite field trip or activity at Empower Fest and why did it stand out to you? My favorite field trip during the program was when we went to the small coffee shop. It stood out to me because of how cool and creative the owner was.
That's the same question. Can you hear me? The field trip that stood out to me was the one to the aquatic aquarium in Corpus Christi because I really like aquatic life and it's something really to invest in when you're older. Like you could become like an aquatic science, you know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you.
So one of the goals was to introduce them to different career paths that maybe they might not hear about through their K through 12 experience. So they've heard from a variety of industries. So our next question is?
What is one new skill you learned this summer that you're proud of or excited to use in the future? One thing I learned in empowerment that stuck to me for the future is how to make a resume.
One skill I picked up is how to socialize with different people from different schools and different communities. Like even if they go to McCullum, Harlandale, or STEM, you could like or Burbank too. You could like socialize with them, like with no drama.
Our next question is, how did the camp change the way you think about college careers or your future goals? The camp changed my perspective that you might not always enjoy something that you planned on for years, and that's okay.
I also agree with Tiara.
So just to piggyback on that, they also got to hear from a lot of local Harlandale graduates as well and their career paths, how they got where they got, whether they went to college, whether they did a 2-year associate's degree, whatever work career pathway they went through, they got to hear those stories. So that's what they're referencing in regards to like, maybe this is what they thought they were going to do, but they end up somewhere else.
Our next question is, what's one memory or moment that from the camp you'll always remember and what made it special? One memory I will always remember and treasure is when we went to this place called Wonder Chamber. I made a whole bunch of new friends from different schools, and I still talk to them till this day.
The one memory that sticks with me is when we went to Goodwill and I dressed up as Ozzy Osbourne for a walk down way. And I got second place for that.
So these students, there were 75 of them this year. Our first year we did it, we had around 30 to 35. They got to go on a variety of college visits. What he's referencing is we partnership with Goodwill. So we took the feedback from our students last summer, and one of the things they mentioned was fashion, theater, more of the arts. So we tried to bring that in this year, and they participated with the competition with Goodwill of a runway. They participated in creating their own leather goods, rings. If you happen to stop by Memorial at that time, there's a lot of pounding because they were creating their own jewelry at one point. So it was a amazing camp, as you can hear. This is their second year that they participated, and it's opened for any high school student in Harlandale from 9th to 12th. So thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Any
Excuse my,
comments?
yes.
Ms. Ortiz?
Excuse my ignorance, but how were they selected? If it's from 8th to seniors, how are they selected? When can they apply? Or are they recommended?
So we work with our communities and schools first, having them target students that can go either way, or maybe they're a little bit lost in what their trajectory is going to be out of high school. And then we open it up. So technically it's opened up to any Harlandale High, McCullum, Frank Tejeda, STEM, any of our high schools. So it is open. And we start promoting it as soon as we have our dates. And we call the parents. We have parents here. They are encouraged to bring their kids. I've had stories from some of our parents who say, hey, they don't even want to go to band camp. They rather come to Empower Fest because we really are engaging them in activities that are real life skills that maybe they might not have the time during the academic school day to get preview to.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Ms. Reese.
A comment. So you all know I'm a big fan of your Empower Fest. I do what I can to support on my end. But I do want to say thank you for creating these, I guess, relationships with outside entities. I was at a luncheon at Brooks City Base one day, and this lady came up to me, and I had my school board name tag on, and she was like, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Wesley. I'm with Goodwill. We're, working with the Empower Fest, this summer. And she was so excited to have Harlandale reach out to them to create a relationship. So, and then we exchanged emails, had a couple of conversations, and then I had her meet with Mr. Soto, which she then gave us a couple of resources where we can extend, into the district. So continue what you do, because you just never know how this is going to play out. Now Goodwill has, given us some additional resources so we can, work with other students outside of Empower Fest. So thank you for your work in that.
Anybody else? I'll just say something very quick. We keep preaching about thinking outside the box, thinking outside the box. And this is a perfect example of doing that because we know what the kids want to do, or we assume we do. It's band camp and mariachi camp, but there is more to it than that. And this is a perfect example of reaching out to the kids and finding out what is it that you want also, not instead of, not alongside with, but also. And this is a perfect example. So thank you so much for thinking outside the box for our students' growth.
And we want to say thank you to the board and also to Mr. Flores for supporting all of our initiatives because we come up with some intriguing things in our direction. But I also want to say thank you to the students that participated and their families for dropping off the kids and, just working with us for 2 weeks. And also to Nicole and the rest of the staff that participated because it took a lot of time and effort on their behalf because I can come up with an idea, but they're really the ones that flourish and they will create it. So I do appreciate also their support and their time and their effort with this. So I appreciate it. So we are looking forward to summer 2026. We're excited. We're going to take the students' data and information, and we've also partnered with CCMR, Mr. Norberto. So Title IV is providing funds for the students to continue all of their college visits, 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring, and then the ones that we're creating for the summer for our empowerment camp. So we want to say thank you and look out for us because we're coming.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gallegos and her team. Thank you so much to the families and the students for wanting to take this journey as well. Moving on to agenda item 6, Mr. Littlefield.
Yes, the board is asked to approve the submission of an estimated 17 state waiver requests for maximum class size exemption for the attached elementary campuses. As a result of increasing this class to a maximum of 25 students for monolingual classes and 27 for bilingual classes for the campuses and grades listed, more students are able to remain at their home school, do not have to be transported, and are able to take advantage of after-school tutoring and enrichment activities, as well as after-school care at their home campus. In addition, limitation of space does not allow for additional classes. All students do have the option of being overloaded to a class of 22 or less, and classrooms with 25 or more students will be provided additional assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Littlefield. Comments, questions? Mr. Cotto?
Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, just, I'm sorry, I was side talking with Ms. Patty on some things, so he might have touched base on it. But if you look on page 7, Mr. Littlefield, dual language. Do we have teachers knocking on the door to do some dual language that are certified?
Not that I'm aware of.
So if we create a class, because this is not about money, we have 1 at 23, let's just do 4th grade, 1 at 23, 1 at 27, 1 at 25. We can create another class for sure. Who's going to be teaching those kids?
At this time, it would be a long-term substitute.
So at this time, the district feels that one that has 23, which is 1 above, the other one is 5 above, they do have a permanent help in there, permanent teacher's aide.
Any class that has 25 or more does have additional support, yes.
And so, board, this is the decision we have to make is, do we put them in a classroom with a sub and we create another class and we move children around? We have the classroom. We have the room. As we know, our enrollment has dropped. Do we create another class and have a sub teach dual language classes to these children? Or do we leave these children in this class with assistants that have been in this class since the beginning of school? So that's the decision we're gonna have to make on Monday. So just wanted to clarify, if you look on page 7, it's majority of them are dual language classes. 1st grade is dual language, 2nd grade is dual language, and then the 4th grade is dual language.
Mr. Soto, I have a question. I know you've answered it before, but I'd like for you to answer it here while we're at the work session. I recently asked those classrooms that have 26 children, 27 children, 28 children, you said to me they have assistants. Is this a teacher's aide that's there for 1 hour of the day, for 3 hours of the day, or are they assigned to that one classroom because there's so many students?
And was proposed, that question was proposed earlier this week, and I met with Mr. Littlefield, and I told him, sir, make sure that any class that is over 25, that teacher has full-time assistants in those classes.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Questions, comments?
I have a question.
Yes,
Madam.
Ms. Ortiz.
Okay, so on Monday, we're going to be voting. Is it possible to see like at Gilbert Elementary School, they have one at 23 in first grade, it's dual language, and in fourth grade, are there other classrooms? So are there other dual? There's not. There's only the one class. We only have one dual language at Gilbert. We only have one in first grade and only one in Gillette and only one in Schultz. That's what I'm asking. There's no other dual language in those on those grades. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments? Mr. Resendez, you were going to say something?
Yeah, just for clarification, everyone, we're meeting next Wednesday, not Monday.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
Get
okay.
used to that.
Yeah, just so everyone is like, wait a minute, we're not meeting on Monday.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Salazar.
So Mr. Soto, I know that it's going to be a full-time assistant, and I know sometimes things are out of our control that we don't have substitutes. How are we going to ensure that that assistant's not going to be pulled out to be a substitute for a classroom?
Great question, ma'am. Principals have been told that this is a priority since there's so many kids in that classroom for that teacher, for that aide not to be pulled out.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or need additional information?
I have a question.
Yes, Ms.
Mr. Soto, given that the new teacher will be starting this week, will these numbers be updated for visualization?
Mr. Littlefield, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the numbers that are corrected. I believe we had one speaker that said those are going to correct hers. So that new employee that we just hired are going to help out Vestal. So if you see the chart, Vestal's okay because of that new hire. Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
I just had a
Rivera.
question on the ones that have 23 or more, not 25. Are we gonna make available like at least a half a day's assistant, the 23 people?
Ms. Dr. Salinas,
We have substitutes in those classrooms, just for clarification, they're not paras. So they are substitutes that Ms. Valdez has out. Right now, we were told 25 and higher, but we can certainly change that to 23 and higher.
I have a question, Mr. Soto, if I may ask Dr. Salinas. Where do the educational partners come in place when this situation is at hand?
Educational partners are actually in classrooms teaching. So they are not considered, these are substitutes who we've hired, who know that their only role is to be in that classroom assisting the teacher because they are over on their student count.
Thank you for that clarification, ma'am.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
I guess my biggest concern would be, are these substitutes, how can I put it? I guess I would say veteran substitutes, or there is first come, first served basis. 1, 2, as I've been involved with Adams a lot, I know that in the past, I know that no matter if you put a substitute in there and then the principal decides I need a sub real quick, they have the tendency of pulling them out. I know it happens at Gilbert's a lot. It happens at Adams a lot. It used to happen at Morrow very little, but it would happen every now and then. It would happen at Wright. So that would be one of my biggest concerns, because I worry about the kids in second, third, fourth, and fifth, because the second grade is being prepared for the test. Third, fourth, and fifth are gonna take the test. So we put a brand new sub that's never worked on anything like that. That's gonna affect us.
Anybody else?
So there's not an answer for the subs. We don't know.
Yes, sir, I can answer that. Thank you, Mr. Mancha. These subs were selected either by campus decision, so the campus has told us these are the subs that we want, or Ms. Valdez met with the subs. They've all been trained, so these are not, you're right, Mr. Mancha. Usually if somebody calls in sick, they pull it. These subs cannot be pulled, and these subs were selected, like I said, either by the campus or with Ms. Valdez's help, to make sure that these are not just subs who are picking up every day in a different sub. This is a sub that's been selected for that campus, for that classroom in particular. And anytime there's concerns, I think we might have one, they report it and we change the sub and we make sure that the campus and the teacher is comfortable with who we place there.
Thank you, ma'am. That really, to me, it's very important because, when we get a rookie sub, there, we got to be cautious with that.
Anybody else? And just as a friendly reminder, we still have until, yes, but to email you until Wednesday. The sooner the better though, so we don't leave the staff to the very end to answer any questions. So if any of my colleagues have questions or need additional information, email Mr. Soto, please, and he will obtain that for you and send a courtesy to everybody else. Mr. Lund, did you want to say something? No? Okay. Moving on to agenda item 7. Mr. Soto, who will present?
Mr. Littlefield and A&M San Antonio, if you have any questions, are here. Mr. Littlefield?
Yes, so the board is asked to consider and approve the Texas A&M San Antonio Institute for School and Community Partnerships to operate Beyond Adult Dual Enrollment Academy at Frank M. Tejeda Academy to serve adult learners ages 16 through 26 seeking high school completion, GED attainment, or dual enrollment opportunities from August 2026 through July 2031. This collaboration aligns with HISD goals of increasing college and career readiness by providing flexible pathways for dropout recovery students through 3 educational options: a high school equivalency, a GED, traditional high school diploma, and high school diploma with dual credit. The program features competency-based progression, wraparound services, including counseling and basic needs support, and partnerships with Alamo Colleges for dual enrollment and workforce development organizations for industry certifications. Beyond will serve approximately 150 students annually, focusing on the demographics currently at Frank M. Tejeda Academy. This partnership will operate under Senate Bill 1882 authority, with ISCP maintaining operational control, while HISD retains ownership of facilities and employment of staff. This partnership is funded through the state Senate Bill 1882 allocations based on student enrollment, with additional grant funding anticipated for program enhancements and startup costs. We do have Dr. Munoz and part of her team here tonight to answer any questions that you may have about this exciting partnership.
Thank you, Mr. Littlefield. Any questions or comments? Mr. Soto?
Madam Chair, I would like to have Dr. Munoz just come up and give us just a layman's term, just quick.
Absolutely. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, Cabinet. Thank you for having us here. I'm Henrietta Munoz, and I am with the Texas A&M San Antonio Institute for School and Community Partnerships. We hope to be your partner at Frank M. Tejeda Academy. In layman's terms, what we would like to propose to you all for consideration and discussion is the ability to have an early college, high school, a dual enrollment academy for the students of Frank Tejeda. As we know, Frank Tejeda has students that are typically non-traditional students, students that you're recovering back into the school district. And we have some expertise around building career pathways and working with those types of students. So what we experience with students who are cream of the crop, if you will, are students that are high achievers, are students that have the opportunities to go and be a part of a P-TECH or go and be a part of opportunities that we heard earlier, right? To experience things outside of not just Harlandale, but experience other colleges and universities, other career paths. And that's what we want for your Frank M. Tejeda students. So we would like to be your partner in this endeavor. And the idea here is to bring dual enrollment for those students, to ensure that they have opportunities like the career and experiential learning that you heard about earlier tonight, but then also to walk away with livable wage jobs and obtaining career industry trade certifications is what we would call them. And so opportunities in cyber tech, opportunities in aerospace, opportunities in manufacturing. We have a deep connection with Toyota. And so the opportunities to bring that level of connection for those types of students to Frank M. Tejeda while they're completing their education as well. We are hoping to attract new students. The ability to be an 1882 campus, the Senate Bill 1882 campus, allows for you all to have open enrollment to attract other students from your surrounding areas who might want to also join this opportunity. We do expect to have wraparound services, much like you heard tonight, right? Your community is well supported with communities and schools, with opportunities that you've already established here. We'd like to bring additional supports for the students at Frank Tejeda as well. So that is, in general, is what we would like to do with you all as partners. As I mentioned before, we are part of the Texas A&M University system. We're housed at A&M San Antonio, and we were birthed here in San Antonio to work in partnership with school districts like yourselves. So I'm available for any questions if you might have those.
Thank you so much. I have a question. What other partnerships like this do you have going on in other districts?
Yes, we have two partnerships in two different districts. We have an SB 1882 partnership, so similar to what we would be establishing here with you all. We have two schools that we help operate in partnership with Edgewood ISD, and that is Gus Garcia University School, as well as the Burleson School for Innovation and Education, which is an 18+ campus. At that campus in particular, we establish a national apprenticeship model for students with differing abilities. And that has actually increased enrollment by 30%. And the enrollment of that campus, 30% of that enrollment comes from outside of the district. Those are two campuses that we have partnered with in Edgewood ISD. We also have a partnership. It is not an SB 1882 partnership, but it is a growing partnership alongside Toyota USA Foundation and our local Toyota Foundation here, here in San Antonio. And that is with 3 schools. This year, we're starting with Pecan Valley STEM Academy. Then we will move into Legacy Middle School as well as East Central High School. In the next, that relationship is a 5-year relationship starting this year all the way through the next 5 years with those 3 campuses in East Central ISD.
So you have found success in those partnerships with those districts.
Here's what we're growing success, right? And so there are opportunities for long-term sustainability. The partnership with East Central ISD in those 5 years in those 3 schools, it is about ensuring that STEM careers are at the forefront and opportunities for students. And so we are working with numerous partners, inclusive, of course, of Toyota, but we were successful, part of the team, to bring $6.5 million to that district through Toyota to support that STEM pipeline in those 3 schools. We are anticipating some additional funding resources for Harlandale if we're able to. We do that anyway, I should say, we have partnered with your makerspace, and since we have a deep relationship with Toyota, we have been able to bring not 6.5 million, but about $20,000 that have come in, and some additional funds through Toyota for the makerspace. So we're here no matter what. We live down the street from you all and at Texas A&M San Antonio. So we would bring in some additional resources, whether we'd be partnered or not in this form. But the success that we've seen is growing enrollment slowly but surely, and then also looking at long-term sustainability. So if ever our work is done here, that we've left the district in a better place or left that campus in a better place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody have any questions or comments? No? Yes, Mr.
Just
Luna.
remember, what is P-TECH again?
P-TECH is the opportunity where you have, it's actually an acronym. P-TECH is an acronym, and it's escaping me. I don't know, Mr. Littlefield remembers it either, but it's like technology. It's not, I don't forget what the P is. I think it's pre-technology something. I'm sorry. Yes, I could Google it right now, but yes. Yeah. But
I don't remember myself either.
College High School is EHS, but there's a lot of acronyms in all of those. But yes, Pathways. Yes, there you go. Pathways in Technology in Early College High School. Yes, right. And you have one of those already that's partnered up. At Frank Tejeda, what we would do is work in connection with you all, with the district and the strategic plan for the district to ensure that we have the right career pathways for Frank Tejeda.
Thank you. Yes, I know, exciting, right? Exciting. Anybody else, any comments or
Madam
questions?
Chair?
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
Did you approach us or did we approach you?
That's a great question. I've been looking to partner with you all for quite some time, and this was an open call. So the state of Texas does require school districts to have a public open call for partners such as ourselves to come to the table for any particular school. And so you all created that open call, and we responded to it. So that's, although just to be frank and upfront, I have been knocking at the door to be partners with you guys, because our organization was built specifically to work in partnership with our backyard superintendents and backyard districts. But we responded to an open public call that the district had.
Don't lose the number, please.
Absolutely.
And any more ideas, any more great ideas, our doors are open.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Madam Chair, the other day, I heard some high percent that A&M is one of the highest attendance rates for Harlandale graduates, correct? That's good.
Yes, and of course, you know that the university is growing. We have one of the largest freshman classes in the past 2 years. And again, we're not going anywhere, and we hope to continue partnering in other ways.
Neither are we. We're not going nowhere.
Anybody else, any questions or comments? No? Okay, well, thank you so much. Moving on to agenda item 8. Mr. Soto, who will present?
Ms. Beverly?
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Beverly Hubbard. I'm the benefits coordinator for Harlandale. On January 1st, 2023, Harlandale ISD committed to a partially self-funded medical insurance plan. In addition to the premium that each member has deducted from their check per pay period, there are also deductibles, coinsurance, and copays for medical services received. In an effort to further steer the Harlandale Medical Plan towards being self-sustaining, meaning the premiums paid plus the $410 per month contributed by the district are able to cover the claims incurred, board consideration and approval is requested to change the structure of the Harlandale Medical Plan from a single plan to a two-tiered plan, while increasing premiums, deductibles, and copays for both medical services and prescription benefits. This proposed plan structure does not change the standard medical services received from neither Next Level Urgent Care nor via Kempton Premier Providers or the KPP free contracts that we utilize through our third-party administrator. If accepted, payroll deducted premiums would differ based on the tier that employees select during open enrollment. Also, consideration to commit as a reserve of $1.5 million from the general fund balance for the self-funded medical plan claims. These proposed changes would become effective on January the 1st. The slide, which you should have in front of you as well as on the screens, you can see a side-by-side comparison to the rates that plan members have had for 2025 and how that is proposed to change in 2026. It should be noted that in 2023 and 2024, there was no increase to any of the rates for the Harlandale Medical Plan. 2025 did incur less than a 24% increase to the employee plus spouse, employee plus children, and family premiums. The Employee Insurance Advisory Committee has met twice since this school year began and discussed the changes proposed here today with the understanding that the ultimate goal is for the medical plan to sustain itself and eventually be able to lower premiums for the members. We're just not there yet. I have a representative from the committee here with me today, Ms. Terry Norman, who is able to provide testimonial to her experience utilizing the Harlandale Medical Plan.
Hello, good evening. I kind of haven't, I've been kind of trying to figure out what I would say. I did want to stress that, so I'm going through right now, I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in May. So through the insurance, I was able to, with negotiations with the KPP for free, they were able to get my surgery, which I had a bilateral mastectomy in July, and it was completely free. It would have been $80,000 and I didn't have to pay anything. I have had CT scan with contrast, MRI with contrast. I've had a bone scan to see if I had cancer in my bones. I've had an echocardiogram on my heart, and I have had, let's see, is that everything? And the mammogram and the sonogram, everything leading up to it, and they were all completely free through with the KPP for free. I'm a single mom. I teach over at Kingsborough Middle School. I'm a 7th grade science teacher. I pour my heart and soul into my students day in and day out. When you have a teacher that loves your students, that's me. And I mean, I'm very thankful that I had actually expressed to Beverly how impressed I am with dealing with Kempton. Stormy and Stevie are like my best friends. Every time I call, I'm like, hey, this is Miss Norman again. And they're like, oh, Miss Norman. So they verify me and then they help me with everything. They help me set up to get my chemo port because I do have to have, I'm currently doing chemotherapy. So I have to do that for the next, until like Christmas time. And then after that, I'm going to have radiation. So I want all of this to be approved so that I can continue. My out-of-pocket expense, I'm probably over 100,000 as far as like cost-wise. So for me, I've only paid, I think it's about $3,000 that I've had to pay out of pocket. So I haven't quite reached my max amount yet, but I'm sure I will before the end of the year because I still have a lot of treatment to go. I'm only 2 treatments in on my chemo. But I just want to say how much I have appreciated the insurance because it is, it's let me focus on my health and making sure that I'm getting better and I can focus on teaching my students instead of worrying about how I was going to pay for everything. So I guess that's it. So thank you. Thank you.
Also here today with me, or with us, is Lori Rice from Brown and Brown Insurance. And as we move to the next slide, I'm hoping that you can see it. We were able to break down per top 10 diagnosis spend. This is planned spend for those diagnoses. And this is throughout the membership of the Harlandale Medical Plan. And this is January 1st of this year to August 31st of this year. These were medical claims that were processed by the plan and based on diagnosis. And what I find really encouraging is not only are our members receiving the care that they need for a serious medical condition, but they are also using it for preventative screenings. So this was very uplifting to me. Scrolling down, I do want to highlight the impact that the Next Level Prime membership that's included with the Harlandale Medical Plan, the impact that that has had on our plan, because the plan did not spend $288,000 on ER visits or $249,000 at urgent cares. The total plan the medical plan savings from incorporating the Next Level Prime membership is over $600,000, and that's year to date. Just as a quick reminder, Next Level Prime built the Brook City based location. Its proximity is on purpose. And in August, in the month of August, the Brook City based location saw 155 of our plan members. So they are actively using that location, which is fantastic because they can use it for primary care and urgent care 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all of the services that members receive at any of the Next Level urgent care locations are included in the flat rate that the district pays. So those claims never hit the plan. Scroll down. So if this proposed plan structure is approved, the district-wide benefits tour would commence on the 18th of September so that the word can get out and we can communicate all of this information, this new information district-wide. And as per the board's request last year, we have included a 4-week open enrollment. With 2 weeks, we would have enrollers on site. And all of the entire time, the online benefits portal and the call center would be open to assist members.
Thank you, Ms. Hubbard. Any questions or comments? Yes, Mr.
I just
Luna.
spoke to Next Level here at the layout. They were saying, do our members have to pay an $85 a month? What is that for services, or is that included in the plan?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat the question?
I was talking to Next Level rep over there at the layout right now. She was saying that the employees can go, but they have to sign up for like an $85 a month charge, or is that part of the plan that's already they're paying?
The Next Level Prime membership, in which our members, a Next Level Prime member pays nothing at the point of care. It's all built in. So they don't have a copay at the point of service. If, excuse me, if an employee elects to not have the medical plan, we still provide the urgent care option that they have to actively select during open enrollment. And the monthly membership fee for the Prime through Harlandale is $30 per month.
Okay.
For employee only, $60 for family for the urgent care only option.
Mr. Luna, I believe it's, if you want, were you asking like your personal self to be on that next level would be $85? Yes, yeah, exactly. But a Harlandale employee gets those rates. Yeah. Or yeah, if they have insurance, it's free, it's built in, but if they don't have insurance, it's 30 and 60.
Any comments or questions for Ms. Hubbard?
I know when I was a teacher here, we used to fight against self-funded for some reason. I don't remember why, but now being self-funded for a while, have any of our HISD employees been denied any medical services that you know of because we're a self-funded group?
If a service is deemed medically necessary, it will not be denied.
And then overall, does the plan we have now, is it less than the previous plans like Blue Cross Blue Shield or any other previous plans that we had with the district as far as for the employees benefit and employees share?
It's difficult to do an apples to apples comparison for the plans that were in place previously. Whenever I did look back, the deductibles were so high. So while a premium or the amount that an employee would pay per month would be lower, their deductible to receive care was 5,000 or more. And that would be for only catastrophic use.
And that
This
might
plan
be
is-
like also like something catastrophic would be way out of bounds for like certain procedures would be, you know, maybe transplant or something might be way more expensive in one plan and then the other plan would cover.
Correct.
So
That's
it depends what y'all cover, right? Where we get covered. So after, I was hearing earlier, is the medical plan we're having now, is that self-sustaining itself then in the big picture? Is it sustaining itself?
It's not. That's why I'm proposing to increase the rates.
That's why the rate increase.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you, Ms. Hubbard.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 9. Is that Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am. This item is to review donations received during the month of August. The district received 2 donations, one from JFK Auxiliary Unit in the amount of $300 and one from the American Legion John F. Kennedy Post 485, again in the amount for $300. These were both to the Morrow Student Services Support Center.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Any questions or comments to Mr. Flores?
Just kudos to Ms. Gallegos and her group. They did an awesome job.
Yes, they do. Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Flores, I believe you have this next one.
No, ma'am, this one does, please, Dr. Hinojosa.
Okay, Dr. Hinojosa. I saw money in there and I figured.
I'll gladly turn it over to him, though, if he wants to take it. Thank you, Madam Chair and the members of the board. So for this particular item, that we'll be seeking for approval at Wednesday's board meeting. Over the past 2 years, we've had, whether it's been the harsh winters, we had hard freezes, or whether it's been the the really hot summers, we've had HVAC issues or we've had boiler issues. So depending on what the weather is, we definitely don't want to interrupt instruction. So for Wednesday's board meeting, we're going to seek approval to purchase 15 portable units. What happens when we do have those systems down, whether it's winter or summer, is we have to go and rent portable units to be able to keep the the temperature at a suitable setting for the students. So over the past 2 years, we spent approximately $76,000 on rental units, because we have aging chiller and boilers. So we strategically planned for this school year was to budget the purchase of this to present to the board. So instead of having to go out and rent portable units for heating and cooling, we would own the 15, and then that way we would already have them on site, so we don't have to wait for the rental companies to provide those units for us. So at Wednesday's board meeting, we'll be seeking approval to purchase these portable units, and we can have them on inventory or use on the ready if needed.
Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa. Any questions? I have a quick question. And you might have said it, and I apologize if I wasn't paying close attention, but 15 units are what you're asking to purchase. How many units did we rent?
I don't have the actual number. I can have that for the board meeting and send that to Ms. Juarez on HH, but I know that over the past 2 years, it's been a total of about $76,000. It varies depending on what the chiller goes out and what the classroom or the campus needs are. But the actual amount of rental units, I can definitely get that for you.
If you don't mind, I'm just curious. And I would assume that rental price also depends on how many days we have it. you can have it for, and I'm gonna throw a number out there, $50 for 30 days. Obviously not. It's on a daily rate, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And we typically, and that's exactly right, but we typically will try to rent it for a month. That way, that gives us, our HVAC team, the flexibility to see what it's going to take to get the parts in and to make the adjustments or the corrections. But we typically will get a monthly rental fee, but the rental companies are good about, if we only need them for 2 weeks, then we get credited back those 2 weeks.
Okay, yes, I'm curious. I'm curious how much the 76,000 pertains to, it covered how many units? I'm just curious, if you don't mind saying.
Yes, ma'am. And I have that information. I apologize for not having it here, but I do have that information. I can get that to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa. Anybody else? Ms. Salazar?
Yes, Dr. Hinojosa, and then since we're gonna purchase them this upcoming year, right? We're gonna, then when would be the next projected time frame that we would have to make another purchase?
Well, really, then that's a great question. We don't anticipate having to have any more unless we have just some catastrophic failure. But what on average, when the chiller goes out, it typically affects a wing of a building or a campus, and so and that was the average for like the number of classrooms or the number that we would have in that wing. So we would be able to dispatch them all to that. So really anticipated for us is not to have to make this a yearly expense. It's just as needed, and which. Our chillers are aging, so it's been needed over the last 3 years and probably prior to that. So it wouldn't be a purchase that we would have to come, yearly to do.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Mr. Soto or Dr. Hinojosa, what is the current lifespan looking like on all the chillers on the campus? I feel like we go through an issue every year with the chillers. So what are we looking at and replacing, and when and how, just, longevity?
Yes, Board of Trustees, it's an every year needs assessment, and operations has already put that together. We did it back in 2019, and that's when we went for the maintenance tax notes, and we took care of a portion of chillers and we took a portion of roofs. And we still have some maintenance tax notes, and we're still trying to figure out which are the highest need chillers that need to be addressed. The bond steering committee has met. They have put down another list of needs, which is more chillers that are aging out, that are already getting to the 20-year mark. So we're looking at those with our next assurance that Mr. Flores has been working with our bond counsel and Mr. Acosta. And that's something that we're going to come to the board saying, okay, these are a couple of options that we can do with funding and address these chillers. But while we're doing this, the last thing we want is for our kids, and all of a sudden winter hits and we haven't got the funding straightened out with the other chillers, for them to have to be moved. And we do move kids once it gets to that point. We don't want the kids to stay in that classroom if it's too hot or too cold. But Dr. Hinojosa, you can share that list in HH this Thursday to the Board of Trustees, and you can show them the campuses that are in need of the chillers. And you can also provide the list of all the chillers we've already taken care of, which is a lot of them, and maybe put a price tag to show them all the monies that we have spent already on chillers.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Any comments, questions for Mr. Soto or Dr. Hinojosa? No? Okay, moving on to agenda item 11. Is that you, Dr. Hinojosa, as well?
Yes, ma'am. And since we're on the topic of chillers, so if for this particular item that we'll be seeking approval for, and there will be a change to this item that will, and I'll cover that here in a second, that an issue took place after the agenda item was sent in. So if you remember back in 2022, the Columbia Heights chiller went out, and so we replaced it. Since then, the Rayburn chiller went out, and the size of the chillers were very compatible. So you remember that one board meeting that we had at Rayburn back in the spring? It was a little bit toasty, and so we actually had staff on site at the chiller just resetting it. They deemed, and since we have PD there and information services and the Boys and Girls Club, that the chiller was working at Rayburn at 50% capacity. So the chiller at Columbia Heights was the exact same specifications of what we needed at Rayburn. So we made the decision to move the chiller from Columbia Heights to Rayburn. so we could have not have any loss of instruction or any loss of services at Rayburn, with a plan of replacing the Columbia Heights one once things leveled off. Well, that was the intent of this agenda item, but since this was posted, the Michaud building, the science building at Harlandale High School, that chiller went out. So what the correction that we will make for Wednesday's board meeting is, instead of replacing the chiller for Columbia Heights, we'll actually be replacing the chiller at Harlandale High School. It's the same specification, so it fits exactly the way this was going to be purchased. It'll just be purchased for Harlandale High School. So the correction that we'll make on the agenda item for Wednesdays, instead of it reading Columbia Heights, it will read Harlandale High School Science Building.
And we're going to come back for Columbia Heights because eventually Columbia Heights will be open next year.
Yes, sir, exactly right. Yeah, I apologize for that. So then we will come back and look at replacing the chiller for Columbia Heights.
Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa. Anybody else? No? Okay, moving on to agenda item 12. Is that you, Dr. Hinojosa?
Yes, ma'am. And this is not chiller related. No, but this is a replacement for some equipment. So part of what we do in maintenance is we do, the HVAC repairs when we're able to, and roof repairs when we're able to. Part of our preventive maintenance in our maintenance department, we do tree trimming, and then changing the lights out of the parking lots, and then the athletic renovations, improvements. Are the current boom lift that we have, the 46 to 50 foot boom lift, is 12 years old. It's been in repair several times. And again, just as an estimated, and I can get that information as far as how many times it's been repaired, but we spent approximately $46,000 on repairing that particular boom lift. So what we'll request for approval at Wednesday's board meeting is just to replace that boom lift, because what sometimes we'll have, it'll be operational, and then we'll have to manually lower it. So it's not 100% safe. So we do need to replace it. But to not slow any projects down, we have to rent a boom lift so we can finish a project. So this would be just replacing the one that we keep having problems with, and replace it with a new unit.
Any questions or comments? I have a quick question. How often do we use it?
Weekly, it just throughout the district. It's a district wide. So whether it's improvements at the stadium, or we have to do work at the scoreboard, we have to do lights in the gyms. When part of the preventive maintenance for the roofs that Mr. Soto mentioned a second ago is we trim trees around the roof so they don't scrape on the top of the roofs. When we do make repairs on HVAC units, sometimes we have to get the lift to get our staff up there. So it's used on a regular basis.
It's a necessity here for
Yes,
the
ma'am.
district. Thank you, Dr. Hinojosa. Anybody else? Questions or comments on this particular agenda item? No? Okay, well, we already addressed agenda item 13, so agenda
Madam
item.
Chair?
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
I received a message from the family of Ms. Cardenas, and I read Sylvia A. Cardenas Gymnasium. They would like to take the A off. Do we have to re-vote?
The official motion had what? A had her initial, had her,
Sylvia A. Cardenas.
okay, so
Yes,
just,
but we put down what they were recommending was Sylvia Cardenas.
okay, yeah, so since we're still at the meeting, we could make a
That's
motion.
why I
Yeah.
figured I'd bring it up.
Yeah, make a motion to amend the official name of
Madam
the.
Chair, I would like to re-amend my motion
Yes, sir. Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Martinez seconds it.
to, to change the name from Sylvia A. Cardenas Gymnasium to Sylvia Cardenas Gymnasium.
And that's regarding item 13.
Item 13. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mancha, for your motion. Mr. Martinez second that, and we will open up we have to do it by hand, right? Oh, okay. Yes, yes. I have to be consistent. Y'all are throwing me off on here. Yes, no, not that. It's the clicker. Okay, so Mr. Mancha's motion to amend the naming of the gymnasium to from Sylvia A. Cardenas, bless you, to Sylvia Cardenas. If you're in favor of, please raise your hand. Against? Nobody. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Mancha, for bringing that to our
Thank you, Madam
attention.
Chair.
Okay, agenda item 14.
I move
Madam
to-
Chair,
Madam Chair,
Ms. Salazar?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Ms. Ortiz?
I second.
Thank you. We will go ahead and now use our little clickers. Voting is open. We can close the vote. Okay, agenda item 14, motion carries. It is now 7:42. Thank you for joining us. Everybody have a good rest.